Hey, this your boy Hood Pastor Full Impact Ministries, the social media ministry that bring gut-wrenching truth about God's true nature towards us through the scriptures. I want to get right to the point, and I want to explain this here to you. If your pastor is inviting these people, and there's many more, if your pastor is inviting these people to your church, your pastor is a thief. Matthew Stevenson, Brian Kahn, Creflo Dollar, Bill Winston, Sophia Ruffin, Juanita Bynum, Abercrombie, Ivy Hillard, Paula White, Leroy Thompson, T.D. Jakes, and many more like them. Your pastor is a thief. They care nothing for your soul. They care nothing about your mental, your financial, or anything. They are truly out for themselves. If your pastor is inviting political people to come and speak at the church, and especially during voting time, your pastor is a thief. And he is out for himself. He's getting some through the back door, under the table, and you are not a part of any financial thing that is coming through there. No grants, all the grants, everything going to your pastor and the folks that's clicking with him, like your deacon and your bishop and all that. If your pastor is doing these things, your pastor, Chemo, is the thief that John 10 speaks about. Okay, if your church is struggling and everybody in the church is struggling, now, mind you, I understand that there are times when churches fall on bad times, but then that is when other churches get together and begin to put up funds to help that church, like in the church of Corinth, when they began to put together funds to help other churches because other churches were struggling. So the church of Corinth, they began to help people. But if your church is always struggling, if everybody in your church is struggling, chances are Acts chapter 4, verses 29 through 35, which is prophetic of everybody wasn't lacking. When they began to sell their possessions and everything was distributed, and that there was no lacking. This is not operating in your church, and it does not mean to go and sell all your stuff and give everything, because they have twisted all this. This is prophetically speaking about when the power of God is moving in an assembly, in a circle of everybody on one accord. When the power of God is moving in there, there's not lack like that. There is not lack. So if your church is not functioning like these here, my advice, tell them, be gone, preacher, because you just made a bunch of folk angry anyway. Why they don't like you? You just made a bunch of folk angry. You gonna tell them? Yeah, I'm gonna tell them, leave up out of there. Leave that church. Because God is not in it. So once again, I'm gonna give you a recap and I'm done. If your pastor has invited these people to come speak at your church, your pastor is a thief. Matthew Stevenson, Brian Kahn, Creflo Dollar, Bill Winston, Sophia Ruffin, Juanita Bynum, Abercrombie, excuse me, Ivy Hillard, Paula White, Leroy Thompson, T.D. Jakes, and many others. Your pastor is the thief that Jesus speaks about over in John chapter 10. And if your church is always struggling and everybody in there is struggling, chances are the power of God is not in them. So which means that the scripture says that he confirms his word with signs following. Nobody's being healed in their mind and their soul and their body, and nobody is moving up financially. Everybody's struggling. The power of God is not in them. So do what you will with it. But my advice, if your church is doing this here and you have political peoples coming in, speaking, and trying to con you out of a vote, Because they can only get in there if your pastor allowed them to get on the pulpit. Your pastor, yep, be done, is a thief. You're rotten to the core. This your boyhood, Pastor Full Impact Ministry. Who's the real thief Jesus talking about? I'm out. Peace.